Hi Aquarius! I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into this, I would like to set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. All right, so we're starting off with the Three of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. This kind of feels like leveling up in a way. Maybe you feel like rapidly making progress. Okay. There's a sense also of transitioning, maybe somewhere new. Maybe on your path, what it is that you've been focusing on. For some of you, this has to do with what you've been studying. Making progress with reflecting. Learning more about yourself, definitely. It's interesting. I'm hearing the Hermit's journey in tarot. The journey of the Fool is called the hero's journey, but I'm getting this more so like the Hermit's journey. It's like you really looking within and finding the things that you seek, finding answers that you're looking for as well, uncovering goals, figuring out the next steps of your path as well. Because it feels very much like we've gone through some type of ascension, spiritual awakening, and now we're kind of maybe reflecting more, maybe not participating socially as much as we had been in the past too. There's more of a like being on your own, reflecting more often, gathering information. Maybe also answering questions that you hadn't been able to answer before. For some of you, I'm seeing that there's reflecting you're doing when it comes to relationships that you have too, and maybe you're also figuring out what role it is that you want to play if you're integrating relationships into your life, and maybe even expectations that you have for other people. I'm hearing something about the high mind. It's like your higher self, a higher awareness. I'm seeing a sense of learning too. There's a sense of reflecting and maybe understanding something more about innate gifts that you have. And it's interesting with justice here, I'm kind of getting it like trying to figure out how it is that you want to use your gifts, like what you feel like is an alignment for you and how you want to be exploring them, how you want to be using them in a job setting, career path. You could be doing something where you're working with energy. I'm hearing psychology, health, service, yoga, tarot, Reiki, things like that. It's like anything where you're working with a sense of spirituality and also combining that when it comes to relationships, maybe even with those around you. There's also a sense too of like maybe at times you feel like your progress is more elusive as well. It's like maybe because you've been making progress and maybe because it isn't so blatantly linear, you're like, am I actually making a difference? Like, am I actually getting somewhere? Where exactly am I going? But I'm seeing that you're moving on from this. This is also moving on from a place where you have to know what exactly is coming and what's going on. There's a sense of wanting to be more present and in the moment and just being too. Like maybe even more of a sense of stillness that you're becoming comfortable with. Yeah, I'm seeing a sense of calm. It's like recognizing when you need a break from those around you and when you want to reflect more, when you want to come back to yourself. is what I'm hearing. There's also a sense of discipline, strategy. I'm hearing healing, patience. I'm getting this notion too. I'm seeing someone kind of going around to all of their different relationships and tending to them in a way that feels right. It's like bringing a sense of balance to your interpersonal relationships and maybe tending to them differently than you had been before. Because there's a sense of wanting to integrate like this higher mind, this higher vibe, this higher frequency into the relationships that you have. And you know as well that it's going to take patience, it's going to take determination, and it's also going to take you like releasing things when it comes to the ego space too, of being like, I need the relationship to go this way, or I need you to understand this. There's a sense of letting that go and allowing things to be while also bringing your best self into your dynamics. And this also means your dynamic with yourself as well. Maybe there also was a time as well that you felt like you didn't have what it was that you needed to like add and bring to the relationships you have. Also a sense of maybe frustration that arises too when things don't go the way that you want, but there's a sense of like ease and patience and letting go that I'm seeing here. It's like also knowing too when you feel stuck. This is also about knowing your limitations as well. I'm hearing as well as your limitless form. Prior to stepping into a place where you are fully accepting yourself in all of your light and what you can do, I'm seeing there be a sense of maybe shying away from authenticity in the way that you specifically share that, Aquarius. And there's a sense of like finding your way out of this space where you feel stuck when it comes to what it is that you have to share, to give, wisdom even that you want to pass on. And there's a sense of now stepping into this place that feels more integrated. It's like maybe in the past the job that you were doing, you felt like it was hindering you. It's like this almost reminds me of being in a place where like maybe spiritually you felt like you were evolving, but when it came to things with work you felt like it was kind of setting you back. And now there's a sense of integrating that we're doing. It's like you're both making progress on the spiritual front, and I'm seeing you making progress with like your duties, your responsibilities, your career, your job role for some. Because there's a sense of wanting to bring things into a harmonious balance in all areas of your life rather than just compartmentalizing. There's a sense of integration here that I'm seeing. I'm looking at Virgo, Libra, Aries, Sagittarius. They're all kind of huddled in the middle together here. I'm seeing too, there's a sense as well, maybe you felt in the past like you needed to be rushing through things. It's like when you were in a state where things felt more ambiguous, there's a sense of like being so uncomfortable that it's almost unbearable. And now there's a sense of being like kind of easing yourself into being more comfortable with the ambiguity of not knowing necessarily where you're going, but having faith that you're being directed and led where it is that you're meant to be going. Like there's a sense of trust being integrated into this. I'm seeing big healing work that we're doing too. And I'm seeing this. You may feel like you need to go backwards in order to go forwards at times. It's like if you have things that you need to like pick through in order to process. I'm seeing that that's going on here too. Understanding what's been blocking your heart chakra when you feel like situations bring to light places where your heart chakra may be blocked. As I said before, I'm seeing a sense of deliberate healing that we're doing here, and it's helping us figure out where it is that we want to be stepping. For some of you, there could have been a relationship that came about, but you're recognizing that you weren't ready for it because you needed more time. You needed to process more. Yeah, for some of you, I'm seeing like somebody could have wanted to have a relationship with you or start something with you, but there's a sense of, and I mean, remember, energies can always be reversed. It can also be how you're perceiving somebody. There's a sense of there being a possibility of opening something up, but also shying away from the opportunity, maybe because things didn't feel right to you. It's like, for whatever reason, I'm seeing that there was something that you could have potentially been involved in, but I'm seeing you shy away from this. Someone could have even expressed feelings that they had for you too, or you could have wanted to do this. Maybe you also feel like it's really important for you to be keeping to yourself as you're going through whatever it is that you're going through. For some of you, there was the pop-up of a karmic relationship that you could have been part of, but I'm seeing you didn't take this. It's like I'm seeing you recognize something. It's like even before it happens, I'm seeing you kind of already know where it would have led to, and that's why you didn't participate in this. Whether you weren't ready, you felt it was not the right timing, or you weren't interested in being with this person, again, for whatever reasons you had, I'm getting a notion of you being able to perceive something prior to it occurring. It's like you just had a feeling, because I'm not seeing anything blatantly, but it's like because of how connected you are, it did feel blatant in that way. But it's almost like there may have been no like 3D proof of something, but you were going off of your intuition and what you were feeling, and knew that you didn't want to participate in something that was being presented to you. Yeah, I'm seeing something, again, something that could have started, that you could have possibly been a part of, but I'm seeing you not do this. I'm seeing you, like, very blatantly, something new that you could have been participating in. I'm seeing you not do it. It's like turning somebody's offer down, not wanting to get things started. For some of you, you could have, like, maybe even started dating someone or seeing somebody and kind of almost immediately recognize that it wasn't like fitting into what it was that you wanted. It wasn't right for some reason, and I'm seeing you turn this down or end whatever this is before it got any further. Yeah, this feels like a pretty big decision that you made. I'm hearing an executive decision. For some of you, this could involve like a project or something you were working on that you recognize you didn't want to be doing anymore. You could have also been in a situation too where it came down to you like taking control and making a decision that felt right for you. Because if you had been more passive, like something could have continued, but I'm getting this feeling like you kind of knew better and knew that you needed to make a decision or do something. I'm hearing executive decision again. Maybe you also recognize too that if you played a more passive role, it kind of would have been maybe even a shadow trait for you. Maybe this is something as well that we're recognizing. It's like when we live more passively, things kind of unfold in the way that they do, and there's a sense of wanting to more actively be responsible for where it is that your life is going to, your relationships, what you're engaging in. I'm looking at the moon and I'm looking at Pluto here. It's like even if you started something and it felt hopeful in the beginning, it's like as soon as it started feeling like something that I'm hearing you couldn't relate to, I'm seeing you very quickly make the decision to end it. Even if it was hard to have that conversation with someone, I'm also getting, because there could have been feelings involved. Okay, so I'm seeing some type of offer that's going to be coming through, but I'm seeing that this hasn't occurred yet. It's maybe something that's more so in the works. The offer that's coming through, this person's intention is to help you. It's like they believe that they can benefit you in some way. You could have been waiting for this or hoping that this would happen too. It's like I'm seeing this person come through in a hopeful, helpful, I'm also hearing wishful energy. There's a sense, too, of being able to recognize help when it's available to you because you're being more present, because you're more grounded. It's like when you see an opportunity that's kind of meant to be moving along with you on your path, I'm seeing there be more of a sense of like maybe even knowing what's going on. And if something works for you, if something is in alignment for you. So this offer that's going to be coming through, I'm seeing somebody that's like very deliberate in what it is that they're going to be presenting to you. Like I'm seeing this be something that this person has really thought about. I'm seeing them come through very purposefully. I'm seeing it also be kind of like a no pressure type of situation too. It's like this person may want to work together with you. The way that this comes about may feel serendipitous in the way that it unfolds. I'm seeing this for sure be tied into something that you want. It's like, I'm seeing this be like a grounded vision that you have. The way that this person comes through and how this is integrated into your path. I'm seeing this definitely have something to do, like you guys have some sort of shared background when it comes to tradition, philosophy, religion, spirituality, something along those lines. I'm hearing answering the big questions. So it's like you guys definitely have something in common. Yeah, I'm seeing that this is a wish fulfillment that you manifested. Like I'm seeing It's almost like you can recognize when this comes in because it's something that's been in the front of your brain that you've been wanting. Yeah, as I said before, this person may want to work with you. Like, they would perceive you as being grounded as well. I'm also hearing responsible. They see you as being responsible. Once they figure out how they want to like make this proposal or present this to you, I'm seeing that they're going to be coming through quickly, and it's like you're going to also learn very quickly whether or not this is going to work out interacting with this person, like whether or not this would be an ideal situation for you. There's a sense of not rushing into the collaboration with this individual. For some of you, this is somebody that you know already. Okay, if in the past also, because this feels almost like a potential for a habit to reoccur. If you feel like in the past, when certain things have presented themselves to you, regardless of like how solid they seemed, if you were like rushing in too quickly to things prior to building more of a stable foundation, this is kind of one of those situations where it's going to be whatever you make it to be. So if you're like tumbling into this, there's a sense maybe in things possibly even falling apart. So there's a sense of needing to move through this deliberately and carefully. Not for any other reason than not wanting to miss certain details that you need to pay attention to. Because I'm getting that you're going to be able to read this person's intention quite easily, but there's a sense of not getting too excited and then not paying attention to details you need to see. Because I'm seeing that this person also may have multiple reasons why they're interested in you, so there's also a sense of wanting to be mindful of that, to like understand somebody's true, I'm hearing full intention space. And the more grounded you are within the dynamic with this individual, the better off it's going to be for you, and the more clearly you're going to be seeing things. For some of you, this is about not rushing into being physical with someone, too. And rushing in is completely subjective. It would take whatever amount of time or steps you feel is appropriate for you. For some of you, I'm seeing that there's a lot of work that you're doing when it comes to your stability and what you're able to offer yourself and also those around you. If that's something that you're building towards, you could be doing something service related. I'm seeing for some of you, you're definitely working through past stuff. This reminds me as well, before when I said going backwards in order to move forward, there's a sense of kind of working through things that needed to be worked through. And you may feel like you're having certain memories or flashbacks that are enabling you to work through things that are still sticking out to you, things that energetically you want to address. And I'm seeing that this is also affecting your confidence in a way where you feel like this process is beneficial to you and you're getting more in touch with what it is that you want. There's also a sense of alignment here that I'm seeing, where it's like you want what is in alignment and you're working to make sure that your wish fulfillments and your manifestations are in alignment with what is most beneficial and of your highest good, because you know that that's how you're going to find the satisfaction that you're looking for. And you're recognizing as well that regardless of what the interaction is between you and other people, the more grounded you are, the less you're preoccupied, like when drama starts to manifest. It's like being able to see through that, because I'm seeing this notion here. It's like the more we're stepping back and observing our environment, observing the emotions that are coming and going, and also observing other people and how they're behaving in a space, as soon as something gets too busy or too chaotic, there's a sense of being able to see through that to where a person is, and also being okay with that too. It's like rather than feeling the need to project or push an agenda, there's a sense of being balanced and calm because you're taking care of yourself and addressing your emotional state and taking responsibility as well. And this is really how you find what you're looking for. Yeah, in all of your relationships. And I'm not just seeing this be like one specific relationship, even though there can be a highlight of a particular relationship here. I'm seeing this be an act that we're doing within all of our dynamics. It's like being that calm and grounded and centered energy, no matter who it is that you're interacting with, and knowing too that you don't have to be involved in anything that you don't want to be involved in, and you can step back and step out of those spaces to gain the clarity that you need and to be able to truly meet people where they are. See where they're coming from. I'm also hearing seeing them come in advance. So this almost feels like being able to maybe even predict or get insight into people's movements too. Anticipation is what I'm hearing. And you feel more connected with yourself as well. I'm seeing like instead of you looking outside of yourself to like find a rock or find an anchor or some sort of stability, I'm seeing you like really relying on yourself here, Aquarius. And that way, it doesn't matter what's going on externally in your environment. You're always seeking that calm, centered space within you. So I'm looking at Taurus. I'm looking at Mercury. Those are the only major arcanas I'm looking at here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.